Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
It's a beautiful thing to be together this morning, virtually. And in thinking about the uniqueness of this experience, I thought of the rabbi and scholar Abraham Joshua Heschel, who famously explained that part of the secret to Jewish survival is privileging time over space. That as Jews, rather than building grand cathedrals, we built a cathedral in time. We built Shabbat. We made time. We made moments in time rather than spaces or places what is truly holy. So wherever you are this morning watching us, joining with us, we are creating this sacred time, this sacred moment together. We're creating Shabbat together. So let's welcome Shabbat with the words of Hine Ma Tov, how good, how wonderful it is that we can sit, be together, despite how far apart we may actually be. For those who have a prayer book, we're on page 10. You can follow along with the link in the live stream.
And Beau, yeah, the distance is extraordinary because this Hine Ma Tov is the opening verse of Psalm 133. Somewhere around 2,000 years ago. And the psalmist knew something. So let's join together. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov, la 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 la. Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov, la 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 la. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
In these uncertain times, we are all very sensitive and aware of our bodies, of our health. And as Jews, we have a blessing for that, a blessing for our health, a blessing for the fact that our bodies work the way they are supposed to, that we say every single morning. And we frequently skip by it, but I think particularly this morning, it bears special attention. So on page 173, in the middle of the page, we'll read together the English of this blessing for our bodies, Asher Yatzar. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware we would lack the strength to stand and sustain life before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of health and strength.
Baruch atah Adonai, rofei kol basar u'mafli la'asot.
Those who turned in early on the live stream heard Cantor, Gurney, and I discussing what we had for breakfast, respectively, this morning. And I shared that I had a freshly toasted piece of toast, some warm salted butter on it, a glass of fresh squeezed orange juice, such seemingly simple pleasures, but so beautiful, and reminded me that there really is no such thing in life as a small blessing. And that, I believe, is one of the truths, hopefully, that this experience we are all enduring reveals, that our lives are filled with many, many blessings. And no matter how simple, they are not small. We have a collection of blessings, the Nasim B'chol Yom, that we recite for the daily miracles of our lives. They begin on page 175. The cantor will chant them and we'll respond with Amen.
And just a quick note, Beau, about the melodies we have. This section of our Shabbat morning service, these Nisim B'chol Yom, the blessings for the miracles of every day, as Beau just mentioned, appear in our weekday services as well. But on Shabbat, the melody we use is unique to Shabbat. And this whole section of the service follows this particular set of melodies. And as soon as you hear them, you know it's Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sech v'bina, l'havchin ben yom u'v'layla. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokar etz haramayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechim mitzadei gaver.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, marbish harumim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, anoten la ya'ef koach.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir sheina meinai, u'tunuma me'afapai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani b'tselem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani ben chorim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshana b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asot b'divrei Torah.
Amen. Many of us have a acute awareness these days of what is truly important in our lives, what really matters in our lives. And there's a little piece of Talmud on page 180 that is our ancestors' answer to the things in our lives that matter more than most, the things that are limitless. So we'll join together in the middle of page 180, reading the English of this little piece of Talmud. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
We'll turn now, for those of you who have Sidurim, to page 188. This is the 150th Psalm, the last of this extraordinary body of ancient poetry. Psalm 150, probably composed in the latter half of the 1st century BCE. I'll just start the opening phrase, the first 2 lines, and then we'll conclude with Kol Hanshamata Hallel. Let every soul everything that has breath. Praise God. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, El Bekodsho. Hallelujah, Birkia Uzo. Hallelujah, Bigvurotav. Hallelujah, Keroruro. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol anshama te hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol anshama te hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We move ahead, page 193. Ishtabach Shimcha Malkeinu Ha'er HaMelech HaGadol VeHaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Ba'aretz Baruch Ata Adonai El Melech Gadol Batishpachot El HaHodaot Adonai Niflaot הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך חיי העולמים. יתקדע ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעלמדי ורקירותי ועמק מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בהגהלה ובזמן קריב, והימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, ויעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה, בריחו לעילה מנקו בחדה ושירתה, ושפחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, ויאמרו אמן. For those of you who are able to stand, we rise for the Baruch. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorech choshech, oseh shalom uborei et hakol.
For those with the prayer book following along, in the middle of page 199, there's a beautiful, beautiful reading that we'll join in together. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully, we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and the wisdom of your truth.
Baruch Ata Adonai, Aboche be'amo Yisrael, be'ahava, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem kavod malchuto leolam vaed. We all join together now in Be'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We'll join Yes, we will. That's okay. I heard you.
The good in us will win. The good in us will win over all the wickedness, over all the wrongs we have done. We will look back at the pages of written history and be amazed. And then we will laugh and sing, and the good that is in us, children in their cradles will have won. Our hearts beat with certainty that there is a day and an hour and a mountain called Zion, and that all of the sufferings will gather there and become song, ringing out into every corner of the earth, from end to end, and the nations will hear it. And like the caravans in the desert, will all to that morning throng.
We join in your ancient song. Page 204, not that you need the page. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, norat hilot oseferet, שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים לשמך שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל, ומה בעזרת ישראל, ופדי חינומך יהודה וישראל, קראנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל, ברוך אתה אדוני, Israel.
Page 205, we begin the Amidah. Cantor Gurney will chant the Avot and Givarot together. We'll chant the Avot and Givarot for all of us along with the Kedusha, and then we'll have a few moments of silent meditation, silent reflection.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ופי יגיד יראתך, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chaste Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'Nehem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Olam Adonai Mechaye Akol Atah Rab Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid Ad Hashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofei Kolim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Ahar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Melach Melech Mimit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol. The Kedusha, page 208. Nekadesh et shimecha b'olam Kishem shemati shimoto Vishem morom Atur yadiviecha V'karaz elze v'yamar Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tzvaot Melech kol haaretz Kevodo Adir Adirenu Adonai Adonenu Madir Shimecha Bechol haaretz Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimekomo Echad Hu Eloheinu Hu Avinu Hu Malkeinu Hu Moshienu Hu Yashmienu Hu Yashmienu Rachama Le'enei kol echai Ani Adonai Elohechem Imloch Adonai le'olam Elohai Tzion Ledor vador Hallelujah Ledor vador nagid vod lecha Unenitzach nitzachim kedushacha Kaddish V'shivracha Eloheinu mitinu lo yamush le'olam v'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh
We'll continue with the remainder of our Amidah silently for those who have a prayer book or are following along online through page 219, either with the words on the pages of the prayer book or the words of our hearts.
This morning, coming out of the Amidah, I'll ask everyone to join in the singing of Yismechu, this beautiful Shabbat prayer that expresses the great joy, the pleasantness of Shabbat. And we could all use more than a little bit of that this morning. So for those who have our prayer book, page 211, not just hum along. Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat, Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat, Nekache, Nekache Shevi Shabbat, Kulam Yisperu, V'yitangu mitolecha Shabbat, Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat, Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat. V'hashvi ratzita bo, v'kidashto Shabbat, chemdat yamim, oto karata Shabbat, Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat, Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat. Zecher, Zecher, L'maaseh Bereshit Shabbat. Zecher, Zecher, L'maaseh Bereshit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat, Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomre, Shomre, Shomre Shabbat, L'koreyorek Shabbat.
In just a moment, we'll begin Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of Torah. Cantor Gurney will take us through the Torah and Haftarah readings for this morning as we begin reading a new book in the Torah. We begin the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus. For those following along, we're on page 244.
Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai, v'yein k'maasecha, malchutecha, malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'kol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai melech, le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yiteh, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Aharachani etiva virtzoncha Zion. Kivnech omot Yerushalayim. Kivnech omot Yerushalayim. Kivechak levad batachnu melech el ram benisa Adon olamim. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Udevar Adonai Mirushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadolun Adonai iti. Uneromema Shemo Yachdav Lecha Adonai Hagdulah Hagvura Latiferet Behanetzach Behahod Ki Chol Bashamayim Uba'aretz Ki Chol Bashamayim Uba'aretz Adonai hamamlacha hamit naseh lechol rosh. I'm unfurling the Torah scroll now. You can't see it, but it is right here. Okay. As Beau mentioned, the Parshat HaShavua, the portion this week is Vayikra, the first from the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus. And I'm going to ask that everyone join along in chanting the Torah blessings. How wonderful to have how many of you are out there all chanting the Torah blessings together. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'na'atan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen. Vayikra el Moshe, Vayidaber Adonai elav, me'ohel moed lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem, Adam, ki akriv mikem korban Adonai, min ha'behema, min ha'bakar u'min ha'tzon, takrivu et korbanchem. Imola korbano min habakar, zachar tamim yakrivenu, el petach ohel moed yakriv oto, lirtzono lifnei Adonai, v'samach yado al rosh ha'olah, v'nirtza lo lechaper alav, v'shachat et ben habakar lifnei Adonai, והקריבו בני אהרון הכהנים את הדם, וזרקו את הדם על המזבח סביב, אשר פתח אוהל מועד. והפשיט את העולה, וניתח אותה לנתחיה, ונתנו בני אהרון הכהן אש על המזבח, וערכו עצים על האש, וערכו בני אהרון הכהנים את הנתחים, את הראש ואת הפדר, על העצים אשר על האש, אשר על המזבח. וקרבו וכרעה וירחץ במים, והתיר הכהן את הכל המזבחה, עולה, אישי ריח ניחוח לאדוני. ואם מן הצאן קורבנו מן הכספים, או מן העמים ועולה, זכר תמים יקריבנו, ושחט אותו על ירך המזבח, צפונה לפני אדוני, וזרקו בני אהרון הכהנים את דמו על המזבח סביב, וניתח אותו לנתחיו, ואת הראש ואת פדרו, וירק הכהן אותם על העצים אשר על האש, אשר על המזבח. והקרב והקרעיים ירחץ במים, והקריב הכהן את הכל, והתיר המזבחה, עולה הוא אישי ריח ניחוח לאדוני. We join together in the blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
We take a moment as the Torah is open before us, the Torah, our source of strength, to think of loved ones, family members, those in our community who we know who are in need of healing, who are in need of wholeness. And in just a moment, in the middle of page 253, we'll offer a mishaberach, a prayer of healing, a prayer of strength, a prayer of wholeness for them and for us, because many of us too are in need of completeness, are in need of a renewal of spirit, are in need of a little bit of healing in these uncertain times. We join together with Cantor Gurney, Mishaberach, page 253.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor habracha L'nimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu Mekor habracha L'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Our Haftarah this morning is from the prophet Isaiah, as the Torah portion focused on the sacrificial cult and
the laws regarding the sacrificial offering, the sin offerings. The sages chose this section from Isaiah, which is probably written during the Babylonian exile. And the prophet pleads with the people not to lose their faith, separated from one another, separated from their homeland. They're living in a state of uncertainty and fear and wondering when this will all end. How appropriately connected it is to our own time. I'm going to chant, we'll join in the blessings before and then the blessings after. I'm going to chant from the end of the Haftarah, starting at verse 20, for those of you who happen to have a Chumash. And verse 20, excuse me, not verse 20, but yes, as a matter of fact, verse 21. And the text reads that Isaiah, speaking the words of God, remember these things, O Jacob, for you are my servant, O Israel. I formed you, you're my servant, Israel. Do not forget me. So let's join together in the blessing before, which you can find in your prayer book, page 254. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nevim tovim ורצה בדבריהם הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק. זכור ליעקב וישראל כי אביעת יצרתיך אבלי אתה ישראל לא תנשני מחיתיך אף פשעיך וכענן חטאותיך שובה אליי כי גאלתיך. רנו שמיים כי עשה אדוני, הריעו תחתיות ארץ, פיצחו הרים רינה, יער וכל עץ בו, כי גאל אדוני יעקב, ובישראל נתפאר. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen.
Beautiful. Thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
So as we've mentioned a few times this morning, we begin this new book of Vayikra, this new book of Leviticus this week. And two thoughts to share as we begin this new book. The first is that we begin this Torah portion with sacrifice, with ritual sacrifices that took place at the ancient temple in Jerusalem millennia ago. They're a relic of a Judaism that we as modern Jews do not recognize. After all, it's not as though on any given Shabbat morning, you'll find the cantor and me up on the bima slaughtering a lamb or burning up a bushel of wheat. In fact, the practice of Judaism as we know it today is virtually non-existent in the Torah. So how did we get from the bloody and barbaric sacrifices we read about this morning to the civilized prayer service we're engaged in right now? The answer has a lot to teach us in this era of coronavirus. In the year 70 CE, the ancient temple in Jerusalem is destroyed once again, this time by the Romans. With the destruction of the temple, our ancestors could not make sacrifices. They could not practice Judaism as they knew it. It was the greatest crisis of their time, and they had a choice. Accept the status quo had come to an end and go the way of the Mesopotamians, the Assyrians, or any other now long extinct civilization, or adapt, change, evolve. And that is exactly what they did. In a scene that could just as easily appear on Homeland, while the city is under siege, Yohanan ben Zakkai is smuggled out of the city in a casket. In a casket. He escapes to Yavna, where he and others reform the very nature of Judaism. They replace the ritual sacrifices that we read about this morning, the sacrifices that took place at the temple, with prayer. They replace the priests who offered them with rabbis. They create a radically new way to engage in Judaism. And as a result, we are all still here 2,000 years later. We are no different. We are no different. It is exactly what we are doing today in the face of this crisis, this pandemic. How does a people whose tradition is based on community, on coming together, on learning together, on praying together, on celebrating together, respond when we cannot safely, physically gather in groups together? Do we throw in the towel? Wait it out? No. We adapt. We change. All of us gathered virtually this morning proves that we always find a way to adapt, a way to move forward into a brighter future. It is the magic of Judaism, the magic of the Jewish people. A second and final thought. Like many of us, working from home was fun for a few days. But now that the reality of Ashley and me both working from home and attempting to parent our 3-year-old at the same time has set in, the novelty has worn off, and it just feels like a sacrifice. If only we could take a break, I was thinking, for a few hours and enjoy a meal together in our favorite booth at our favorite restaurant. But alas, we can't. Another sacrifice. This week began by explaining to a family who lost a loved one that the funeral would not be able to happen as it ordinarily would have. It would have to be a very small group consisting only of immediate family. And the Shiva would have to be virtual. Both felt like big sacrifices. Then there is the couple whose destination beachfront wedding was supposed to happen in a few weeks. Despite the hundreds of guests, plane tickets paid for, hotel rooms booked, and countless deposits made, they decided to postpone. A disappointment, to say the least, and a big sacrifice. Yes, in the era of coronavirus, sacrifices abound, not the least of which is our sense of certainty. So it seems particularly fitting again that this morning we read about sacrifice as we begin the book of Vayikra. It is so easy for us as 21st century Jews to dismiss those sacrifices as barbaric, as bloody, as gruesome. But consider this. First, the sacrifice, the korban in Hebrew, had to take place at the temple in Jerusalem. It was a massive communal gathering. It was designed to bring people together. It was designed to create community. Second, the Hebrew word korban comes from the word karov, which means to draw close. Making a sacrifice is about drawing close to the holiest and most sacred things in our lives. May the sacrifices we make and continue to make in the days and weeks to come bring us together as a community and draw us closer to the people we love and what really matters most. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We'll turn now, as we begin to conclude our service, to page 282. Page 282, the bottom of the page, and rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We turn our thoughts to sacred moments of memory, moments of Kaddish as we recall loved ones, family members, members of our community who are no longer with us. We begin by thinking of those for whom we are in a period of shloshim, those who have died during these past 30 days. As we call to mind Marty Feldman, Beverly Jacobs, Sherry Helfant Malone, Jerome Munchin, Vera Solomons, Jacqueline Rose Schiff, Larry Schwimmer, Joe Stabler, Natalie Stein, Sandra Stein. Orlia Martinez Tapia, and Janet Hull-Tenser. We add to their names the names of those whose yahrzeits occurred during this past week: Goldie Adler, Leonard Barkan, Vernon Beck, Esther Bender, Lillian Brostoff, William Brunman, Julianne Burton, Peter Cohen, William Copen, Menachem Davidson, Sidney Davidson, Marvin DeRoven, Shmuel Dick, Arkady Ediovich, Louis Ellison, Ellen Emmett, Wally Esikov, Harry Fagu, Munish Feinberg, Jack Feldman, Robin Feldman, Max Fields, Raymond Fine, Isaac Fogelman, Beth Fred, George Grant, Donald Greenberg, Tibor Heumann, Ambrose Holtzman, Marion Immerglick Dunitz, Leon Janol, Sophie Jasny, Abraham Kadisha, Joan Kamenow, Stephen Karp, Marilyn Keith, William Kend, Al Kleiner, Doug Klein, Bernard Landau, Wendy Landis, Bell Lazaritz, Dorothy Levin, Cecile Levy, Ida Lieberman, Gilbert Lindheim, Sandy Linka, Minette London, Leo Morantz, Louis Mayers, Patrick McCormack, Dorothy Miller, Rosanna Mischel, Lyda Naim, Edith Newman, Edgar Phillips, Sarita Price, Arno Prince, Morton Pullman, Lou Reisman, Max Renoff, Elizabeth Resnick, Sanford Rieger, Eva Roman, Joseph Rosen, Abe Rosenthal, Esther Rosen, Helen Rosenblum, Susan Rosenfield, Bernard Roth, Dina Rothenberg, Josephine Samuels, Riva Sandler, Claire Satnick, Wally Sauter, Harry Schneider, Sarah Schrimmer, Ronald Shore, Julian Sorority, Jack Silberkleit, Wally Stone, Wally Sloan, Ida Sosno, Ruth Springle, Walter Stern, Rosalie Turner, Leah Valner, Stanley Wallens, Deveril Weiss, Richard Weissman, Stephen Weiss, Milton Wolfe, Molek Yaganin, and Seidel Zucker. We also call to mind those to whom we are grateful but do not know, those who have fallen defending the flags of the United States of America, the State of Israel, the innocent victims of senseless terrorism and violence all over the world, and everyone who has no one to say Kaddish for them. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. We rise, we join together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach chiruteh ve'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayeh dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromad v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata b'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, ta'amiran ve'alma ve'imru, amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen.
Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. Don, do you have any challah there? We don't have any left after last night.
I do, as a matter of fact. And
Fantastic.
we have a little Kaddish here too. So let's all join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'afer. Amen. L'chaim.
I am.
And a little shtickle brot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Te'avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. And Beau, Shabbat shalom to you.
Shabbat shalom to you too, Don. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Have a good week.